is there like a sweet spot? Is it like 50-50? Do you feel like the internal work is more important than the external, or vice versa?
I don't know. What I know is when you decide you're going to take control of your life, like you're going to run the levers, I didn't know what kind of work I was going to have to do. I didn't know you know what I mean? Okay, I got to go see this or this many times. And to start with, I didn't even know how to be a good patient with a therapist because I was so used to being in control of everything that I didn't even know how to tell the truth.
So, welcome. My name is Dr. Kellan Zhu, and we're here on the Thrive Bites podcast, live at the Best You EXPO in LA Convention Center. Why don't you introduce yourself and what you do and what you represent?
I'm Kellan Fluckiger, a very complicated name. I'm an alchemist, and I have people imagine their greatest possible life and then eliminate all the reasons they can't have it. And alchemy, I use that word on purpose because it's part science and part magic, and that's what it feels like.
Does it have any association with the book, The Alchemist?
I love that book, and no, it doesn't.
Okay. Nice.
You know, the personal legend and everything in there, I love it. I love the story. In fact, sometimes I'm like clients read it before I'll take them. I'll tell them, no, I won't take you as a client. Read that and tell me what you think, and then we'll talk and see if you connect there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. I've been in love with alchemy and the idea of, the way I really say it is, I help you transmute the fury of injustice, the ravages of adversity, and the pain of loneliness into the pure gold of love, forgiveness, and service.
Nice. Tell me a story in your own personal life that has impacted you to get onto this mission.
I spent 30 years in corporate work. I had very high-level positions in the US and Canada, made ridiculous amounts of money, so much that my $3,000 a week cocaine addiction didn't matter, and I ended up ruining my life multiple times. So I would create big success and then failure. And I was married and divorced 3 times, and all of the disasters that go with it.
There's a lot of threes in there.
Yes, there are. And finally, in 2007, after 30 years, I was at the top of another one of those giant roller coaster rides, and I had basically a divine intervention. It was an invitation to change. So I walked away from millions of dollars in contracts, started life all over again, not even knowing what I was going to do. That was in 2007, which is now coming up on 16 years ago. I began to be an author and a coach. I've written now 18 books and have clients around the world and help people who really are committed to creating that extraordinary opportunity in their life.
When you get to that point where you threw away all those contracts, did you feel like a moment of hopelessness, despair, what am I doing, confusion, or was it more of like an epiphany for you that caused you to be like, okay, I'm okay and I feel secure within myself to move forward?
I had no idea what I was going to do. I simply knew that part was done. So I quit everything. I resigned and I quit my addiction cold turkey in one day because of the power of the sort of invitation. There's a whole story. If you want to read the story, it's in a book called Tightrope of Depression, my journey from darkness, despair, and death to light, love, and life. I'd literally attempted suicide 2 weeks before. And so it was sort of an invitation to something else, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I just said, not that. So I walked away from it and started over.
Nice. I like that. Invitation is very accommodating and welcoming. So how many years have you, you said 16 years ago, right?
August of 2007.
Nice. Through that, what are the highlights that you've seen in your clients and audience members?
Well, to start with, I had to do the work myself because when I left everything, I was completely broken. I was just done being an addict. So I had to go get counselors and hire coaches and figure out who I was going to be if I wasn't going to be that. High-ranking, big dog, blah, blah, blah. If I'm not going to do that, who am I? And that didn't happen in a moment. That was a process. And I had all kinds of help. needed help, and so that's why I offer that help. Because as a coach, no coach can do the work for the client, sports or music or anything else. But I think of coaching as being in the people encouragement business. That's kind of what I think,
I think of it as like advocate. You're the client's advocate,
Absolutely.
You're a cheerleader.
Yeah. You've got to be there for them, and the more you truly and deeply can understand everything about it, the more truthful you can be, and the more powerful your advocacy can be.
So you talked about the more internal work, and then you also talked about external work, which external resources, which we definitely encourage with mental health. Where do you think, is there like a sweet spot? Is it like 50-50? Do you feel like the internal work is more important than the external, or vice versa?
I don't know. What I know is when you decide you're going to take control of your life, like you're going to run the levers. I didn't know what kind of work I was going to have to do. I didn't know you know what I mean? Okay, I got to go see this or this many times. And to start with, I didn't even know how to be a good patient with a therapist because I was so used to being in control of everything that I didn't even know how to tell the truth. So I burned through 3 or 4 or 5 therapists and before I figured out how to be vulnerable and to actually tell the truth. And then I thought about, no matter what happens with a coach or with a therapist, the real work is after that. The real work is in the application. Like if you, as a doctor, you give me some advice and prescriptions and advice, go do this and this and this, and if I don't, the time in your office isn't very helpful.
That's true. That's true. It's a good way of looking at it.
So I got to go do the work, and I can come back and see you. You can give me all the cheerleading you want. So the things that have mattered most to me are two things. One is to create a declaration of who I choose to be. And often you'll go to conferences and they'll have you write down powerful words and statements and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about all alone when you look at your life and who you want to be in the world. Like, who are you? Not because somebody's going to agree, not because it sounds good, not because you're trying to impress somebody, but just between you and your creator. Like, who the hell are you? Okay, why? Because I said so. I don't need to justify it. This is who I am. Okay, good. And when you get that to a place where every time you read it, it just lights you up. That's part one. Part two is then you have to create yourself as that every day. Now, I don't know why we were created, but we sleep away a third of our lives. I don't know why, but we do. So we die every night, we wake up every morning. Fine, conceptually, right? And so then I think, all right, I need to recreate myself as this powerful person every day. Why? Because it works. Why? Because I feel good. People talk about morning rituals and, oh, that's so hard. Nonsense. I wouldn't skip that any more than I live in Edmonton, Alberta. Run outside in minus 40 in the snow naked. Like, you just don't do it. Why? Because it feels so good to create yourself every day. So those two things, creating a document and an invincible morning ritual that I never skip.
Why do you think that most people, don't do this type of process or introspection for themselves? They don't believe?
They don't believe? They don't believe it'll work. They don't believe it's for them. They don't believe they can maintain it. They don't believe in themselves. I'm not good enough, smart enough. It's too late. I can't. Maybe somebody somewhere, but not me. That story, some version of that story. If they truly believe that it would radically alter their life and give them everything they wanted, they'd do it. They don't believe it.
So it comes down to the belief system.
Yeah, of course it does. If I believed with all my heart that the next lottery ticket, I don't play the lottery, but if I ever bought one, that ticket would win me $1 billion, I'd go buy the ticket. If I believed that I could save your life by picking up this pile of things, I would do it in a heartbeat. But we don't believe those things can happen for us.
Because that foundation of beliefs, has so many influences, right? Your upbringing, society, your community, church, whatever, right? And it takes a lot. For you, it took almost like a life-changing moment, a really severe life-changing moment. I'm hoping that it doesn't happen, like that kind of life-changing moment to have a light bulb, you know? So what do you think needs to happen for them to kind of like unearth that foundation for them to kind of change, would you say?
I think of it this way. Every single person who breathes air has the feelings of intuition, the nudges, the thoughts. I ought to do this, I should do this, I feel like, and we don't. And we ignore it, and we put it off, and we say, not me, not now, I can't, it won't, whatever that is, right? And I did that enough that I figured that the intervention that I had was a 2x4 because I had ignored it so long. I had ignored it so long and said, yeah, no, never, not me, later, whatever, right? And so all that proved to me was that it's never too late. There's no length to which the divine won't go to offer the invitation. You still got to do the work. Nothing magic happened except a stark realization, right? But then it's still all the work.
It's the work. It's the work. It's the practice. It's the practice. It's the process. It's the blood, sweat, and tears. It's, you know, falling down a lot of times, right? Did the work for you, the process, you know, was there a lot of falling down, tripping up?
Yeah, sure. You know, when I quit my cocaine cold turkey, no relapses. But the internal, I know, $3,000 a week. Do you have any idea how much that? Okay, so it was the relapses are continually reminding yourself who you are. That's the purpose of the morning ritual. Like if you just imagine this, okay? If you had a statement of your own being that was so powerful that you literally wept every time you read it. And if you connected to that powerfully every single day, do you think you could get over mistakes? Do you think you could get back up? Of course you can. So the work isn't a white knuckle ride, it's about preparation. It's about understanding the nature of failure. Failure is just a data point. All it means is that didn't work. Okay, like that's all it means. So don't create drama out of it.
Yes, exactly. Don't make it out of nothing. You know, just move forward. Tomorrow's another day. Let's just keep going. So,
yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. For the audiences that want to connect with you, how can they best find you?
So with a name like Kellan Fluckiger, I can't hide. So Kellan,
there you go.
KellanFluckiger.com, there it is. You do have to spell it right. Because of my executive career and my coaching, there's thousands and thousands of Google hits. My testimony before Congress is still online.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but anyway, so I'm all over social media. My website is my name. And the best email would be meetwithkellan@gmail.com. And I'm happy to chat.
Awesome.
And I have a daily social media video, goes to 7 platforms called Road to 50 Million.
Nice.
Because that's all I'm doing.
Yes, yes. No striving, we're hitting it.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you opening up, sharing your story, and let's do this together and get your story out there. So
you're welcome, and I want to honor you because podcasting is a labor of love. And I'm grateful for the good that you're adding to the world and the things that you're doing, and I want to honor you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So thank you so much.